Now, can we work backwards? Meaning, if we're given a percentage of a graph that is shaded, can we work backwards to find an indicated z-score? So what we're looking at here is if I have a value, something like they tell me that this is 0.8798, that would mean that 87.98% of this is shaded. What is this z-score? We know it's going to be something between 1 and a 1.5 because we can see that within the bounds, but what is it exactly? So when we have this situation going on, what we're going to use is we're going to use the inverse function. So when I look at my spreadsheet, we have these over here help us find areas if we know upper bounds, lower bounds, or in between bounds. Then we use this one over here if we have an area that we have shaded and we want to find what those upper or lower bounds are. So when I look at this one, I need to just decide, is this shaded as a left tail or a right tail? Is this shaded to the left or to the right? This is shaded on the left, so we would call this a left tail, right? Why is that important? Because we're going to need to read that from the chart. So we're still working within the standard normal distribution. So our mean is 0, our standard deviation is 1, but what was that area that was shaded? We said it was 0.8798, so we put in 0.8798 into the spreadsheet. And now we need to pick which one is it. Is it the left tail? Is it the right tail? Is it between or is it outside? We just said it was the left tail, so we'll round this 2 decimal places, so that z-score would be 1.17. And I said it was probably pretty close to between 1 and 1.5, and we know it exactly. All right, let's take a look at this one. This says, find the z-score for the lower bound. We call this a lower bound because we can see that this is where this starts. It shades everything up here, and then this is the lower bound, or where it stops. Again, taking a look at someplace between -1.5 and -2, I'm going to make a guess just here and say it's probably something like -1.7, but let's figure out what it is exactly. It says that this graph is 96.06% shaded. Now we have to be careful here because when they give us a percentage like this, again, we're still working with the mean and standard deviation, but if I try to enter in 96.06, it's the Excel spreadsheet doesn't know, because this area or p-value needs to be written as a percentage, so 0.9606. And now they give us these values. We said, is it below or is it a left tail or a right tail? Is it shaded below or above? We can see that this one is shaded over here to the right, so we would call this a right tail. So this upper or this lower bound on the spreadsheet, since it is a right tail, -1.76. So we would know that that z value is equal to -1.76. Again, I said -1.7. I was pretty close, but we want to be exactly correct.